for some football. It's the Raiders and the Ravens coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Las Vegas Raiders. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at our two quarterbacks in this one, it's really a good matchup when you boil it down. Derek Carr of the Raiders, Lamar Jackson of the Ravens.
And I think for me, and this isn't an original thought by any stretch, and probably for these two head coaches as well, the key for them is going to be limiting the turnovers, limiting the free possessions. I mean, this isn't saying anything you don't already know, but you've got to be able to make the most out of your drives and see if your defense can help you out and take the ball away from the other team and give you a few extras.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And his first pass is incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Carr. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now Carr. And his throw here's incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
On play action, it's Carr. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Now Carr again. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Looked like man coverage, able to read it there on the outside for the completion. That'll be something to track as the game goes along here.
It certainly will, and there's so many different ways that they will try to figure out whether they're in man or zone. Sometimes you'll run a guy in motion to see if someone runs with him. Other times you'll empty out the backfield, spread it out, and see if everyone comes out and matches up. In any event, anytime you see man coverage, you tell your guys you got to win those matchups, because if you do, He'll get the football and probably for a nice gain.
From the gun, it's Carr. The quick slant caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And that makes it 7-zip Vegas. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 16. Off play action. Jackson. Flushed out right. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
That's definitely what we call our defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
Now Jackson on 1st down, being chased out left. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle. And the Raiders have got him. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp. The defense is always talking about not letting Lamar Jackson get comfortable. A good job there on his opening drive of making him uncomfortable.
And you're talking about doing it so early in the game because all week long there's been anxiety on the defensive side of the ball. How do we keep this guy hemmed in? How do we tackle him? To get it done that early, that's got to feel great for them.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They're going to try and throw. Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And it'll be a turnover on downs. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Carr. Caught out right by Renfro. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw his Carr. And incomplete on the deep ball. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, They had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
On the return, Devin Duvernay. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
This is it. Partner, it's often the man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And this one is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Steps away to his left. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You've got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
Jackson now off the bootleg. And this all incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Rolling to his left. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Jackson on first down. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And the Ravens are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. To throw is Jackson, rolling to his right. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Patrick Ricard there to make the grab. And the Ravens draw a bit closer. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. A 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Now a throw here to his running back. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up the first down.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Carr, it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Jackson now. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down. So we've reached halftime. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it.
Both teams going back through their game plans, making their final halftime adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we go back up to Baltimore and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Here's Jackson. Forced out to his left. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll go down at the 28. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw, shedding through the defense. And able to use the stiff arm to gain leverage initially, but not much room thereafter. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Second and 5 now. Carr. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. Touchdown. That's a touchdown. Darren Waller. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Raiders add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Carlson on for the PAT. It's good to make it 17-7. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. On the return is Duvernay. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Well, that's complete to the fullback, Ricard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
A couple of 1st downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Boyle here. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, 2nd half, no quit in him.
0.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And the Raiders are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, in this part of the game, the 4th quarter, this is where a running back really has a chance to shine. This is what they've been training for, to take over the game down the stretch. The defense, it's been battered all game long. And here, this is just a case of a runner imposing his will and deciding he didn't want to be tackled right there.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now Carr. Catch made, it's Moreau. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
That's complete to his tight end, Waller. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So Lamar Jackson in the offense. Down by 10. 2 minutes, 17 seconds to go. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. You were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores, want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson sliding out of the pocket. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He'll buy some time right. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review of this being inside 2 minutes of play. So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. Jackson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Out to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Freeman. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. So that challenge, a successful one. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And some space here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
2nd and 10. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, you know, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that.